Alright, hello everyone. This is Lightning Runner here. Today, let's go over something that I'm passionate about, the Dance Dance Revolution. You may have seen on my videos that I play a little bit of the dance music games. You have the DDR, you have the Pump It Ups. You may have seen on my previous channel, my older personal one, that I have played a variant called In the Groove. I first started playing Dance Dance Revolution back in the olden years of 2002. This was back when I was a simple teen. I would go to this little arcade over at Grapevine Mills called GameWorks. It used to be owned by Sega, actually. I remember one time when I was at Grapevine Mills, they actually had someone in a full Sonic the Hedgehog costume walking around the arcade, checking in on people. Hey, you're playing that driving games. Can I join ya, huh? And man, they had so many cool things there. I could do a whole video just on the greatness that was GameWorks at Grapevine Mills. But unfortunately, due to things like home consoles like your Xboxes, your PlayStations, your Nintendos getting cheaper and more affordable, and with arcades being, you know, a little less affordable because you have to keep paying the machine every single time you have to pay. And with a home game, you just have to pay once, and that's it. You don't have to pay anymore. And there's also this little thing in 2007, 2008 called the economic recession. You ever heard of it? Okay, I lost my place. But this arcade was the first time that I had seen such an amazing machine, such as Dance Dance Revolution. Specifically, it was the green one, also known as DDR Extreme. Extreme. There we go. That's a growl. And man, it is quite the show to see someone playing those games, especially if they're good. But I didn't personally get to play it until I was on vacation over in Las Vegas. You know, you gotta have something for all the underage folks that go to Las Vegas. You can't just get them into gambling. That's immoral, you know? You leave that for the adults, not the kids. Well, not yet. They haven't quite figured that out yet. It was interesting because on DDR Extreme and other machines, sometimes they'll have like a licensed song or a cover of a song that's already popular in the Americas. On DDR Extreme, you had hits like La Bamba, you had La Copa de la Vida, you also have two Queen songs, you have We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions. I think on my first playthrough, I did the Queen songs and the Ricky Martin song. And obviously, since I was a beginner, I played them on the beginner mode, on the beginner level setting. That was new to DDR Extreme, actually. And ever since that fateful day over in Las Vegas, I have been obsessed with these kinds of games. Totally obsessed, actually. It's just incorporating something like music and rhythm into video games. It's a pleasing thing, you know? It's pleasing. It pleases me. Because you can see, I do play plenty of games in the arcades. I have 2 videos worth exactly. You saw that I played the DDR. I played the Pump It Up, the dishwashing game. I played that as well. Game where you shoot the music notes that's on screen. But I digress. You want to watch this video because you want to know how to do it yourself. You want to see how in Fursuit you can play the DDR. And I can show you how. If you don't know how to actually play the game, this might be a good chance for you to actually learn. So, let me show you the very basics. What you see here, you are on the dance floor and you are going to dance, but you're going to do it in a very specific way. In that you're not going to dance. You're going to groove into it, but you're basically hitting buttons, not with your hands or your fingers, but with your feet. You're going to use your feet to hit the up, the down, the left, or the right. And that's going to correspond with the up, down, left, and right that's on the screen up there. There are arrows that rise up from the bottom to the top, and you gotta hit them in the order and the rhythm that they're in. You'll notice that there is a bar behind you. You can grab that for support. Don't rely on the bar too much though. You wanna be able to have your bodies naturally be able to balance on its own. Otherwise, you're gonna have a bit of a handicap. So single is just one player. Double is one player, but both the left and the right stage. And then you have versus, which is 2 players on each stage. Once you pick that, you will see you can select a song, either by going left and right or sometimes up and down. The newer machines that come up like 2016 or newer have the up, down, left, and right to select your music like it's a jukebox or something. Do you guys remember what a jukebox is? Is that completely lost on you? Are you too young for that? Oh my god. There are people that don't know what a jukebox is, or a Nickelodeon. Well, they know the TV network Nickelodeon, but they don't know what an actual Nickelodeon refers to. Wow, I'm old. Now, once you select a song to play, it will either take you to what difficulty you want to play that song on, or if you hold it down, or press it twice, it will give you the option to give yourself some modifiers. It's like the little spices and salt and pepper you can add on to your entree. Make your experience on the dance machine that much better. But since you're just starting out, don't frickin' worry about it. Like really, just don't worry too much about it. If you accidentally get to the screen, just keep hitting the button in the middle, the green button, until you go to the very bottom, and it goes to your song, and then you get to play. Yeah, there you go. And you will have all kinds of notes. You have the up note, you have the down, you have the left and right. You have two notes at the same time, and you have to jump up and down to hit them. And you have the freeze note, where you gotta step on and freeze your foot and hold it down until it lasts. Once you finish your song, if you actually pass it and you don't fail it, you will be given a grade like you were in school. See, these go from E to AAA. And you cannot get an E unless you fail the song. And you will know if you fail the song or pass because your little life bar on the top, if that is fully depleted, and if you stop receiving points down at the bottom, that means you have failed. You can keep trying, but you're not gonna do anything. I know in games like Pump It Up and In the Groove, it doesn't matter too much if the life bar goes all the way depleted, because once you start hitting notes again, it'll start going back up again. Once you start playing the game and figuring out what different note rhythms are and how the song plays and all that, you'll get to really get a feel for how the game plays, and you will notice that you're starting to sweat a little bit. And that's because, keep in mind, it is exercise. And if you've gone to the gym, or you've been to PE class, or you've done anything that works you out and makes you sweat, you might have certain items or gear for that, just to prepare yourself. You might have a towel, you might have deodorant, an extra change of clothes, a water bottle, or a hydro flask. You don't really need to do that if all you're doing is the equivalent of light cardio, but eventually that game turns into like so much work. It's just important also that you take a shower before or maybe after you play. Not at the arcade. You don't take showers at the arcade. You do that at home. Just make sure you aren't stinky. Some other tips and tricks just for you guys. First of all, take breaks. Again, this is exercise. You need to take some breaks and make sure your body is prepared to keep playing. You don't want to keep exerting yourself and exhausting your whole body, or heat exhaustion, or, throwing up. There was a time that I actually did throw up after playing a DDR set. Don't be like me. Please don't. Tip number 2 is do not hog the machine. Give other people time to play. Like, I know, I have a mind that's a bit obsessive and narrow-minded and focused. Even when you don't feel tired, you need to give someone else a shot to play, You gotta be fair, you gotta share, and you gotta care. So on my notes here, along with the take breaks and don't hog the machine, I have the tip of, don't die. Please don't die. There's a video I always like to go back to. It's an old video of someone playing their own custom steps to a song that's on an In the Groove machine, and after a particularly difficult part, their body basically says, this is how you want to do it? All right, I'm just gonna give up. I'm done. And then he just smacks and hits the floor. Like, he goes clunk. Don't be that guy. Oh my god. And also, when I say don't die, I also mean when you're wearing a fursuit, you need to know the limits of your fursuit before you play something like this. If you have to take off your head after about 10 or 15 minutes of just walking around at a convention or just at a meetup because you're not used to the heat, or if you don't have good ventilation, if you don't have good sight, You need to think about that and be conscious of that. And this is more than just walking around and waving and giving hugs and being all cute. This is like serious, actual exercise. You're gonna push your body. You really are. I mentioned in my first video of playing DDR that I felt like I was going to get heat stroke. I have never actually had heat stroke or heat exhaustion, but I really was feeling how I was pushing myself just by wearing a fursuit head and playing the usual songs that I like to play on the difficulty that I'm comfortable with. But now I have a handicap. Bottom line, if you cannot handle fursuiting for more than 10 minutes just walking around normally, maybe don't play DDR in suit. That'll be my biggest tip. If you still want to play DDR, do it outside of suit. Work up some heat tolerance or some stamina or endurance or whatever. But your body's health is important. Don't exhaust yourself unnecessarily. I had a little chat with another furry that has played DDR, this time in full suit. You may have known a little person by the name of Stormy Fulf. So I said hi to him over Telegram and asked him a couple questions about playing DDR. I mentioned that I have not yet been able to play DDR in a full fursuit before because I don't have one, but he does, and he basically says, you will be pushing your body to new heights and possibly transcend into the shadow realm. Blast the AC as cold as you can if you intend on doing so. Having a fan or some ventilation nearby the DDR machine, that's helpful as well. Some people bring their own fans, or they work a deal with the arcade owners and be like, hey, we like to really exercise on this and we need some cool air or some fans. And so they bring something or work something out inside the arcade. Do not put your feet inside the center and keep returning your foot to the center after each step. That's a bad idea. You want to alternate your feet and make sure they're going to all the arrows and not returning to the center, because you look like a dummy if you do this. This is bad. Do this instead. So I hope this has been a useful video to you guys. I hope you all record yourselves playing some DDRs. And in Fursuit, I should mention, you can record yourself doing regular DDR, but where's the fun in that? You gotta do it in Fursuit. That's the fun stuff. So this has been Lightning Runner. This has been my guides and tips on Fursuit DDR. If you look down in the description of this video down below, you will see my social media. You'll see my Twitter. You'll see my Telegram, my Discord name, and my Instagram. That should be all of them. You'll also see my personal Discord server for fans of videos of mine. There will be certain perks and special things for people that are part of my Patreon. Yes, people that give me money every month because they love me and my videos. You will get special perks if you pay enough money to me on Patreon. You can have dedicated channels just to the people that are at your Patreon tier. You can pay enough money to me to where you can suggest videos that I do next. You can even pay me enough to sponsor this video. Are you an artist or some kind of small business? Well, just pay me enough and I'll talk about you. So go ahead and check that out. That is my Patreon down there, my social media down there. You can subscribe if you want, but check out some more videos beforehand just to see what you're getting into. Not all of it is DDR related. Sometimes it's a review. Sometimes it's a vlog. Sometimes it's whatever I want to do, buddy. If you like the video, you can go like this. If you didn't like the video, you can go like this. If you want to say something to me over the internet that's not on social media, there's a whole box down there that you could type words into. Wow. And I will see all y'all later. So, bye-bye and dance on.